Hey, I wanted to talk about some small long spring traps today. And again, it's just because I don't see a lot of people talking about them. And it's probably because anybody who traps knows all about these, and they don't feel like there's any need to talk about them anymore. Maybe I don't know, but I didn't know a lot about them. The first ones I bought were these guard traps or stop loss traps. So the stop loss feature is actually, I'll show you on this one. So this is a Victor, and the stop loss portion is this spring and arm here. Okay, so when something gets caught in this trap, and of course it would be, foot down through like this, but just to show you what I'm talking about, I'm going to put my finger across like this. So this is going to force the animal's paw all the way over to the corner of the trap and basically just frustrate the heck out of it and keep it from being able to get its head around and chew its foot off or spin around in a circle tight enough to wring itself out of the trap. So that's why it's called a stop loss. They're made for muskrats primarily, but I think some guys use them for mink as well. And the way they work, again, is pretty unique. I've added some dryer locks to these, but other than that, there's several different ways that they work. So that's a Victor. This is a Sleepy Creek here. But again, I'll kind of show you. So, you hit the pan, it comes up and grabs your paw, right? And then this stop loss kicks in and just starts really pulling and applying constant pressure to keep that critter over to the side and to keep it from being able to get around here and either twist out or chew. So pretty unique. Like I said, basically for mink and muskrat. But anyway, now I'm kind of stuck. But anyway, and you can see that the stop loss action is slowed down by the chain. So after the trap fires and the critter is in there, just in a traditional, long spring number one, then they start to pull, and that's when this guy cuts loose and this trap or this spring starts applying pressure. So that's a number one stop loss. And the way that you set them is a little bit unique too, because of that stop loss. So you got to set the, as you would traditionally set a number one long spring, then you have to bring that over the top, open your jaws, bring your dog up, and then set your trap. So just a little bit different than the traditional with that stop loss arm. The Victor is even a bit more complicated because of the way they did the stop loss feature. So your pan actually has to come up. Get your spring compressed. This guy up and over. Bring your pan back down. Then open your jaws. And then it just sets like a traditional number one long spring. Dog down, pan up. And that's how that guy sets. And to delay this stop loss, you're going to run that pin through there. So then the trap goes off, right? Catches the critter. And then as they pull, they're going to pull that spring out, which is going to set that stop loss lever off to pin them up against the side of the trap. So that's what a stop loss trap is, kind of how they work. Like I said, the target species for these is mostly muskrats, some mink, I believe, which I'm going to put these in some pocket sets to try to catch some muskrats next fall. The other thing I bought were some double long springs, so number 11s. Basically a number one, it's the same size as this trap, but it's got two long springs, one on either side. versus just the one. This is a Sleepy Creek number 11, and traditional dog and pan situation. This one is center swiveled, which is kind of unique in these. Most of them are not. But heavy duty little trap, comes with a nice drowner lock already on the chain loop, and double jawed. So this additional jaw, this one here is another Victor, or no, I'm sorry, this is the Blake and Lamb. But this double jaw covers up the animal's paw as it's in the trap, which makes it harder for them to wring out or chew off, basically. So when you're looking at the number 11s, these are recommended if you're in an area, maybe you're trying to catch muskrats and mink, but you think you might run into a coon. These are going to be much better traps, because these really, I don't think, are quite strong enough to hold a coon. They're not recommended for coon. These are. So pretty traditional. Again, you got your high pan, which I think most people are running a high pan on mink and muskrat. They tend to be fine with that, and they jump in there and push it down just fine. But that's and you can see the double jaw there, how that's gonna basically guard the animal's paw from them getting at it to chew it off or to wring out. Makes it harder. So number 11 long springs, and number 1 Stoploss springs. So little review of those guys. We're gonna try to put them into action this coming fall. Maybe catch some coons, hopefully catch a mink, which would be cool. And that's it. Thanks.